In some bombshell reporting from the Daily Beast, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's latest brilliant idea is a reality TV show called The American, where immigrants compete for U.S. citizenship. To be clear, the Secretary of Homeland Security wants to turn the citizenship process into a reality competition show, complete with challenges in every state and a swearing-in ceremony with a top American politician or judge that will leave not a dry eye within 10 miles. According to reports, Noem has been working with Rob Warsoff, the producer of Duck Dynasty, on a detailed 35-page pitch for this Hunger Games-style immigration competition. Immigrants would arrive at Ellis Island on something called the citizenship, be handed a personalized baseball glove, and then travel the country by train to compete in challenges like balancing on logs in Wisconsin and building rockets in Florida. The winner would get fast-tracked to citizenship, while the losers would go home with iconically American prizes like 1 million American airline points, a $10,000 Starbucks gift card, and a lifetime supply of 76 gasoline. Because nothing says, sorry you lost your shot at the American dream, quite like a gas station gift card. And this isn't just offensive and dehumanizing to immigrants, though it absolutely is that. This is a fundamental transformation of how our government functions. The Trump administration isn't just hiring reality TV personalities to run the government, they are running the government like a reality TV show. And let's be clear, this is not an isolated incident. It is the logical end result of an administration that values spectacle over substance, ratings over results, and TV presence over actual qualifications. Just look at who Trump has hired thus far. More than 20 former Fox News personalities are now serving in top positions in the Trump administration. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, former Fox and Friends weekend host, Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy, former Fox Business host, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, Fox News contributor, Dan Bongino, Fox News host, is now the Deputy FBI Director, and now, as we learned this week, the interim U.S. Attorney in Washington, D.C. is none other than Fox's Judge Jeanine Pirro. These aren't people who happen to have been on TV and have relevant government experience. No, their primary qualification, often their only qualification, is that they look good on TV defending Trump. As former Time magazine editor Richard Stengel put it, Trump's primary concern is always communications, not policy. His highest praise is central casting, and that's what TV is all about. It's not whether you can do the job, but whether you can play the role. But this goes even deeper than just hiring Fox News personalities. The entire governing philosophy of this administration is built around entertainment value. Why else would Kristi Noem, who's become known as Ice Barbie for her constant costume changes and photo ops, think that turning immigration into a reality TV competition is a good idea? Because in this administration, everything is about the show. Case in point.
Here we are with Marco and Brian today. They're letting me roll with them. We're going to go out and pick up somebody who I think is got charges of human trafficking. We earlier had an op that swept up somebody who was wanted for murder. So appreciate the weird work that they do every day. We appreciate the work in the Make America Safe.
And it's not just ICE. Sometimes Noem plays dress up as a Navy SEAL, sometimes she's a prison warden, and sometimes she's even a cowboy.
He's at the border in Del Rio with a bunch of great Americans out here in our border staff. So we're going to go check things out, spend some time with them, and really see what some of the challenges are and what additional resources they need to make sure that we're dealing with the criminal actors that come across this border.
See, kids? Sometimes growing up doesn't mean you have to hang up your Halloween costumes for good. And let's be clear, using her cabinet position to cosplay as a new character every day isn't lost on anyone.
I wrote a letter to Kristi Noem on February the 14th, and I have not gotten a response to it. It's now 2 months. But she's had plenty of time to put on her cowboy breeches and her cowboy hat and ride on a horse, fortunately not shooting any dogs on the way. She's had time to pose in front of people in prison in El Salvador, but she doesn't have time to answer a congressional request to state who have they arrested and who are the worst of the worst, and are they getting the worst of the worst. I have to presume her failure to answer is the fact that they're not getting the worst of the worst. We come into office, we take an oath to support the Constitution. That's not an oath we take just when it's easy. Saying that these people who are all tattooed and maybe they're members of this gang, I don't know. Nobody hardly knows. But that may not be easy in this climate. But due process is important all the time, and it's most important when it's in the worst circumstances, the most difficult circumstances. That's when you have to stand up and abide by your oath.
And yet, you know what they say, the fish rots from the head. Remember Trump's first term when he himself would literally stage bill signings with nothing in the folders? Or how he would have cabinet meetings where everybody would take turns praising him? Or how he'd conduct foreign policy via tweet? This has always been how Trump operates, government as performance art. But now, in his second term, it's reached a whole new level. The barrier between reality TV and actual governance has completely dissolved. We've gone from The Apprentice to the administration without missing a beat. And here's what makes this so dangerous. When you are running a government like a reality show, the only thing that matters is ratings. Are people watching? Are they entertained? What will get attention? It doesn't matter if policies actually work, or if they hurt real people, or if they even solve any actual problems. The only question is, does it make for good TV? That's why Kristi Noem thinks it's appropriate to make immigrants compete on television for citizenship. It's not about creating a fair, humane, or effective immigration system. It is about creating content. It's about spectacle. It's about keeping people tuned into the Trump Show Season 2. This is the core problem with the Trump administration's approach to governance. They're not trying to build a functioning government. They are trying to produce a hit TV show. And in the process, they're denigrating our institutions, dehumanizing vulnerable people, and destroying the idea that public service requires actual expertise or qualifications. When Noem suggests that immigrants should have to compete on a reality show to earn their citizenship, she's not just proposing a cruel policy, she is revealing the fundamental worldview of this administration. Everything is a competition, everything is entertainment, everything is for show. And while they're busy creating spectacle, real people are suffering. Immigrants are being dehumanized, qualified public servants are being pushed aside for TV personalities, and the serious work of government is being neglected in favor of ratings and viral moments. This isn't how a democracy is supposed to function. Government isn't supposed to be entertainment. Public service isn't supposed to be a reality show. And the path for citizenship should not be determined by how well you can balance on a log in Wisconsin or build a rocket in Florida. But in Trump's America, everything's a performance. Everything is a competition. And the only qualification that matters is how good you look on TV. Welcome to the Hunger Games administration. May the odds ever be in your favor. Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.